Hi everybody, a very good morning. How you doing? Hope all well, hope all good, hope all great. I think it's a great start to a Saturday. Hope everybody's weekend is going to be amazing and stuff. I'm Jashin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions where we have interesting premium luxury and also on request affordable accessories and interior solutions where we have lamps, mirrors, consoles, we have art, we have installation, we have semi-precious stone items which are tables, which are jewelry pieces, which are picture frames, there are candle holders, there's stuff in metallic as well, which is the home and decor category and stuff. And of course, then stuff that we do also on request for projects, which we've done a few, and we are wanting to get back and stuff, which we will, I'm sure. So I'm Jashin Kapani, the brainwave, the brainchild. It's my baby, and since it's a Saturday, I want to do a share on this one global entrepreneur. She's a founder of a brand, and her name is Elaine Fisher, and Elaine Fisher is actually a fashion entrepreneur, and she has stepped down recently as a CEO of her brand, and she's done some thought sharing here and stuff. And what's remarkable about her is that she's basically led a organization in New York of 800 people, and she's 72, and she stepped down and she's getting into the next role, which she's evaluating what she wants to do. She's worked for 40 years. So lots of people do that. That's a great accomplishment, but there are many others who are doing a lot. I'm sure you can take a look around. You can see all our leaders in our country. You can see your own family members. If you've had those people working till late in life, you can see people around you who are senior citizens who are doing the work and stuff. So the point is, Gadi, and your journey shouldn't stop at after 40 years or whatever. And I hope people will understand where I'm coming from, because when you are occupied constructively and you're doing stuff, that's when the magic of life happens, and you have bigger stuff and a better stuff happening. Your life is expansive and stuff, but on the contrary, if you're happy and contented with just working for those many number of years, maybe you can take a sabbatical and kind of get back whenever. So the point is, the read is about her. So she's basically talking about the collaborative leadership outlook and stuff. So she's sharing her experience of this firm in New York, and she's hit a target of having about 50 stores under the umbrella, and they are now looking at a global presence, and they've almost accomplished it of 500 departmental stores and stuff. So her thoughts I'm sharing because they inspire me a lot. And what I like about this is she's leaving us on a note of what is it that you must do to kind of not get overwhelmed and get burnt down and stuff, which is a reality, and it happens to a lot of people. So there has to be a balance, there has to be slowing down and stuff. And burnout can happen at any stage, at any age, so one has to be very careful that parents and global heads or business heads or stuff don't put unnecessary restrictions on people or youth who are working and stuff. And you have to have your strategies of recruitment and mentoring and everything with the creative and balancing mindfulness or sports or whatever, or yoga or whatever. You have to take care of the emotional and mental health of people who are working along with you. So she's sharing that Ellen Fisher founded her Ready to Wear fashion brand in 1984 in New York, and she had clean lines and timeless inspirations inspired by the kimono. And she's sharing about her design sensibilities here and stuff. And she says, I've worked for long hours, I've done collaborative leaderships, and I've met interesting people all across the world. And she shares that there are a few negatives in me. I'm not a good planner. I don't have the ability to make the maps and strategy and get everybody to do the work. But my work is basically I can lead the team, and I can handle and design creative pieces, and I can take care of business teams who surround me, and that is that I can work with collective. So she says that when you're running a company the size of mine, there are a lot of things that require direction, planning, and preparation, and at the same time, it's important to show up and do things spontaneously as well, because you need both moments of excitement and moments of order and planning and discipline, and chaos and challenges in the environment can actually help you kind of better your next action plan. She says, being from a large family of 7 children, we almost shared everything. We shared our clothes, and it just felt right to me because we would kind of exchange our clothes and stuff, and our relationships and our bonding grew on that. And now that I have a company which is into extra profits, the first impulse that comes to me is to share the profits with the employees. She says that all companies must and take share ownership, and they must be regulated into thinking that it is not just about profit, but also it is to the contribution of the work culture and to the world that you're kind of a part of and stuff. And what I like the most is that she's saying that being a B Corp was another way of keeping myself accountable. And we must be responsible for externalities. We impact the air we breathe, we impact the water, we impact the environment, and we don't pay for these. These are coming to us for free, but we have to take care of those, and our role has to be clear in this as well. And she says, I have the philosophy that out of the problem comes the next opportunity, and getting something wrong means that something else is supposed to happen, and we must accept our mistakes and keep going. I completely resonate, and I completely relate with this. I believe that whatever happens for good. There's a logic and a reason, and if it's not happened, probably it's a blessing or something. And I'm coming from a school of thought of practicality and experience, and I practice Buddhism as well. So there's so many instances where a lot of my business meetings have not taken off, my plans have not taken off, and when I've gone back thinking about it and looking at it and understanding why it's not happened, I've realized that it's a blessing for me in disguise. Maybe the organizations have shut off, the people were completely toxic, they were misleading, they didn't know how to do the work and stuff, and if I would have continued with them, I would have probably not even taken off. And that's that. So it's a blessing in disguise. And she says, I get overwhelmed at times, so what do? I do yoga, I meditate, I try and get back to a positive state of mind. And as we have a practice in our company, we do a moment of silence before meetings, and this helps the whole team reorient and stuff. So they've included this program of mindfulness in their own organization. So at the start of the day and within the day, they have this whole program running, so that helps. And she says, now after 40 years of leaving, I would like to be remembered as a pioneer of good design and sustainable design. And 75% of my garments are made, which are made, are discarded within a year. And now I'm excited that I'm able to kind of give those away for charity and be more helpful to the world. So I found this a real nice and a stimulating read and stuff, because it teaches us that you have to have resilience, and you have to do something for the world, and you have to understand that you don't make it big overnight. I mean, this lady's worked for 40 years in her life, and she plans to go forward. So the takeaway could be that probably we must reflect that we have more to do. We are here to do. We must keep going forward. And when you have like-minded people and collaborations happening and stuff, that's when your tasks become easier. So relationship management, positive relationships also help a lot. It helps to participate in forums and stuff. Like I was in the startup summit yesterday, so some great insights and stuff. Though my questions didn't have the satisfactory answer and stuff, but whatever I saw yesterday, it seems that the future is bright. And youth and seniors are also excited, and people like me are excited. We want to do stuff. There were these international speakers who would come in, and there were some personalities who had flown in and stuff. So it's very clear that the future is nice, and way forward looks good. Lots of action plan, lots of support from the government, from the leaders, lots of policies and strategies. And we had bankers there, and we had investors there. So everybody looked like they're interested in making things happen and stuff. And one word of caution advice is that if your children are following, or youth, or you are following this program, Startup India, please just continue doing so, because what you're seeing is what you're believing, and that's a lot of shit and filth of lots of people with their unhappy stories of toxicity and behind the scene and stuff. It's not like that. So yesterday it was obvious when people even from Dubai and other countries came in, and they had the same thoughts to share, that Startup India जो दिखाता है वो actually है नहीं. So entertainment and all is fine, but the point is this, that not messing the minds of youth and the country, and people who are going to be thinkers, who are going to be problem solvers, people who are impact changers, people who are strategists or people who are born geniuses and stuff, all of this is going to be getting hampered by following such tuchu programs and stuff. So my humble request is people in relevant positions and roles and stuff, please do look at this and please support anybody and everybody, and do share this wherever you go, that positive stories and positivity has to be shared. People work behind the scene and stuff. So this lady, she was sharing about all the innovative genius recycling and work happening, which is startups solving problems of the country and the world. And with this kind of nonsense being shown and stuff, I don't think anybody would be enthused to even look at a AC Nielsen, or maybe a Morgan Stanley, or maybe look at probably an Indian bank, or maybe even look at SBI, because they've read or heard so much of bakwas about these brands and stuff. So leaving you on this note that it's important you make the right choices of magazines and books and stuff. And after all, it's the destiny of the country and the nation and your own people as well. So love and luck, and take care. Have a blast. Get this magazine if you can, which is INC. I got it from one of the libraries I'm a member of, and it's got some amazing entrepreneurship reads and stuff. So sitting around and saying that we don't have access to information and stuff is also not an excuse acceptable. So do that to yourself. Ask your parents, ask your elders, ask your anybody who's watching this can pick up magazines and get their eyes on this and get reading and loaded with information and stuff. So that's what helps. So love and luck, take care, have a great day. And there is this thing about informal labor, so a lot of people like me must be having that. So enjoy yourself and have a blast. And I'll be sharing that about a little later, okay? So love and luck, take care. And thanks for your messages. Thanks for your likes. And great meeting some people yesterday. Looking forward to connecting and meeting up again, and great to exchange numbers and get in touch and stuff. Let's be the change we've been all talking about and all that. Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah.